everyone. John Gonzalez here from MLive.com, and you are listening to the Going Gonzo Show, which you can hear exclusively on MLive.com and our Facebook page, Facebook.com. Search for Going Gonzo Show. All right, now let's get to the show. Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, and I am broadcasting today from Grand Rapids. Made it back to town after a very long day today. By the way, love will keep us together. Yes, it will. My wife drove in the ice and snow late last night while I wrote my review of Peter and the Starcatcher. Captain and Tennille in the news, 39 years together, and they've called it kaput. I think it was Tennille, not the captain, that filed, and the captain doesn't know what's going on. It's like most men, right? We have no clue. We might get to some entertainment headlines on today's show. I got a busy afternoon. Not as busy as yesterday, though. Yesterday was extremely busy. In fact, I ran the whole rundown on Facebook. I don't know why. I wasn't trying to say I'm superhuman, but it just was one of those days where it was one thing after another. I put it up there on Facebook, and bless the heart of one reader who said, hey, because I mentioned in the post that I went to dinner with my wife and my one of my best friends. He was the best man in our wedding, and we went to dinner last night, the three of us, and they said, hey, good for you for taking time out of your busy day to have dinner with your wife. I think that's the only way that I could have had a busy day, was to take an hour for dinner with my wife, and then after the show making her drive home while I wrote the review for MLive.com. So that was yesterday. But today, just a lot going on in the entertainment world. Did you hear the news about Justin Bieber? Yeah, he's been arrested on drunken driving and resisting arrest charges. The story broke early this morning, and we were trying to confirm it. I was hanging out with Marty and Flounder over at Thunder 94.5 Country in Grand Rapids, and the story was just breaking out of Miami, but now it's confirmed. At least police officials have said that he failed a field sobriety test, according to the Miami Beach police chief, and also resisting arrest. Bieber said he made statements that he had consumed some alcohol and they'd been smoking marijuana and consumed some prescription drugs, according to the police chief. So more of that will come out later today. Suppose he was racing his car, his red Ferrari, against a red Ferrari. He was driving a yellow Lamborghini. They were doing 55 to 60 miles an hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. But they had the area roped off. They had these SUVs blocking off the road. So, he was being somewhat responsible. That's tongue-in-cheek, by the way. I don't really mean that. But more on this will develop as the day continues. As I said today, got a busy day. I'm planning to finish up some blogging, some writing. Got to work out because I took a day off yesterday. Whitecaps Winter Banquet tonight, I should say, here in Grand Rapids. About 20 Detroit Tigers will be in the house, so hopefully we'll get to meet some Tigers. Matt Scherzer is supposed to be in town, and looking forward to seeing all the Whitecaps friends and, of course, the Tigers. You can follow the coverage of the Whitecaps Banquet on MLive.com. Just search for Whitecaps. Pete Wallner will have you covered. Everything happening tonight. Now, yesterday when I was in Lansing, had a great time meeting some of the cast members of Peter and the Starcatcher. You can find my review online right now. Also, after I got home from the concert, stayed up for another 3 hours to write and review American Idol. Big night for American Idol. If you want to catch all the clips, you can do that on my blog, MLive.com. Check for American Idol. But in the afternoon, I had a chance to sit down with Paul Starr. He's from I'm a Beer Hound, and they have a great event coming up or next weekend, I should say. Friday, January 31st, and Saturday, February 1st. It is the Art Craft BeerFest in Rio Tom, there in Lansing. A lot of fun, a lot of great beers. In fact, 20 different beers from Right Brain Brewery in Traverse City. So he'll run down all of that. So make sure, if you're listening to the full podcast, make sure you stick around for an interview with Paul Starr from I'm a Beer Hound. Have a great day, everyone. And right around the corner here, Paul Starr from I'm a Beer Hound.
Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever. Some sweet talking girl.
Well, guess who just walked in the door? It's Paul Starr from I'm a Beer Hound. How you doing, Paul?
Good. Thanks for having me out.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate you taking the time here. Beautiful Lansing. Since the snow comes and it gets a little sticky out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a little slick out there today.
That's okay. We're used to it in Michigan here. Hey, you just handed me a couple tickets because it's a big weekend for you. It's the second annual Art Craft BeerFest here in Lansing. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean the whole concept of it is, art, beer, music. We Friday night is going to be sculptures, and Saturday is photography. And last year we had 7 breweries out. And I want to change a little bit this year and just focus on one. And having 20-plus beers from Right Brain seemed like a pretty good idea. And, some of the beers that we're having out, you would probably only get at a Brewers Guild Festival or the tap room. So we're getting some pretty special beers for this. And, I'm pretty excited. Last year we had roughly 200 people come out for it. And we had to turn away a lot of people, so that's why we made it a 2-day festival.
Two-day festival. Friday night, January 31st from 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday, the February 1st from 5 until 10. 20 beers from Right Brain Brewery. Of course, Right Brain, one of my favorite breweries in the state of Michigan, located in Traverse City. 20 beers, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they don't make that many more than 20. So it's pretty close to their whole catalog.
Right.
So
well, I love their CEO Stout.
That's probably one of my. I think that's my favorite beer from them, and that's probably one of my favorite stouts. I think it's just easy drinking, good after work beer.
It is
easy drinking beer.
It is. I picked it up. Well, actually, I picked it up. Amy Sherman, Amy from the Great American Brew Trail. She got me a 4-pack of it in cans for Christmas, and I said, you know what? I'm glad because when we were up there on our search for Michigan's best brewery, they were out of it that day.
Yeah.
So she picked it up for Christmas, and I had one, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, you're right. Very easy drinking after work, on wine. Had a lot of great flavor. Not overly done either, just right.
Yeah, it's a perfect balance, and I think the gravity is 6%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not over. I don't think it's over that. I mean, it's a great beer, and they do a lot of pretty interesting stuff like the spear beer,
Yep.
Asparagus. And they have I don't think we have it for this festival, but they have in the summertime they had this cucumber saison.
I heard about that.
It was interesting too. But yeah, this we have a lot, pretty much their mainstays, and then some specialty. We have some stuff that is currently not on the website because they're still figuring out what special stuff they can get. So
I love it. You never know what they're going to do. All those guys over there, and of course we're talking. This is next weekend, January 31st, February 1st. Yep. Now, folks that are coming into the Lansing area, can you tell us where Rio Tom Pub is at and a little bit about the history of the area?
Yeah, I mean it's not actually at the Rio Tom Pub.
Oh, okay.
It's right on the same block as Rio Tom Pub. It's actually the space used to be called Art Alley, and now it's kind of an art gallery. And I'm just kind of trying to promote that area. Sure. Rio Tom is pretty much opposite of downtown from 496. Splits downtown and Rio Town. So it's pretty close to downtown Lansing, right in Washington. Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of before after there's a lot of places you can get food and bars around too. So
2-night event Friday and Saturday, a little art on Friday, and then will you have beer on Friday as well?
Yeah. Both days are kind of the same except for Friday night is Friday night is sculptures, and then Saturday is photography on the walls.
So 2 nights of art, really. For that matter.
Yep. So we're just trying to do a unique kind of take on it. I mean, I love art, beer, and music, so why not?
Paul Starr from I'm a Beer Hound. Can you give me a little background on your company? I know that you've been around for a few years now. You have a website, you do event promotion, you have a membership card. Tell us a little bit more about the history, when you started, and what you guys are doing these days.
Yeah, I'm a Beer Hound started is 2009, roughly July 2009. We started logo design, and so from there we kind of started out really doing like video beer reviews. And if you still see them on the YouTube, they're kind of bad, but there's some pretty funny ones
Right.
On there too. And then, I really kind of turned into more of a news website, because that's what I found that, that's kind of what people wanted.
Right.
And I found that people during work don't want to watch, at least on my site, don't want to watch videos. So they want to, it's easier for a lot of people to sort of, look at photos and read an article.
Sure.
So I kind of made the switch, and from there I kind of started doing beer events, like the beer food pairings that I'm doing, like beer and bacon, beer and cupcakes, ice cream. And then I started kind of doing festivals, and I've teamed up with Roxanne she's one of the owners of the Rio Tom pub, and we work together doing various festivals. And last year in 2013, we launched the Beer Hound membership card. I think when we launched it in January 22nd, I believe, and it had about 50 breweries on the card, and I think right now we're about a year later, we have like 91, 92.
That's fantastic.
So, and over 500 card members, and with that too. So we've kind of done a lot. People always ask me, what is I'm a Beer Hound? And I really say in the basis that we really just promote Michigan beer.
Right.
If it's via the website, the app, the membership card, or the festivals that we do.
Yeah, well, thanks. I did have a card last time we saw each other. We, of course, with Ben Darcy there in the studio, and thank you very much. Can't wait to put that card into use. You mentioned some of the events coming up. I know that on Monday night, I couldn't make it on January 20th. You did a beer and bacon event. You got a couple more coming up, right?
Yeah, we have a one coming up at Bad Brewery in Mason. We have 2 tickets left for that.
Wow.
And then we have one. It's at Grand River Brewery in Jackson. That's next Tuesday. I can't remember the exact.
January 28th.
Yeah, 28th. And we have plenty of tickets still available for that. And they actually have a pig. They actually have a pig beer that's on the list for. So
Nice.
we're pairing a pig. It's like I believe it's an imperial stout paired with bacon. So
Yeah.
the events went over well. I did beer and bacon twice last year, and it seems to be growing quite considerably.
Yeah, well, you put those two things together, beer and bacon, I mean, you can't go wrong.
Well, it's a lot to do with the bacon that we have. It's from Jerome Country Market, which is kind of about a half an hour south west of Jackson.
Okay.
And they have the bacons that they have, like jalapeno, cherry, apple. It's just
I've got to go.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good bacon, and so that really helps kind of really helps.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing with the beer food pairings. I try to find the best of the best. If it's the best, and I try to locally source stuff. So I don't really usually drive more than an hour to kind of get stuff, but
if you have to.
yeah. Well, like we did, for example, we used MSU dairy ice cream,
Of course.
which is
it's some of the best in the state.
awesome, and we paired it with the with shorts. So we'll do that again this summer.
That would be a good combination. They also have a great cheddar burger on their beer truck, their food truck. So you might want to consider that for the future too.
Ooh,
yeah,
a cheddar burger.
Cheddar burger. It just drips. It was also my burger search. So, Paul Starr, we thank you for being on today's show. Again, if you want to go to Art Craft BeerFest, it is taking place Friday, January 31st, and Saturday, February 1st. Here in Lansing in the Rio Town area. All the details, Paul, where can we get more information about I'm a Beer Hound and about all your events?
You can go to imabeerhound.com. Pretty much has everything, and from there it'll take you to the actual festival websites and stuff.
Great. Can't wait to see you on February 1st. I'll be here Saturday. Maybe I'll come in Friday too. I don't know. And then, of course, if we don't see you that weekend, we always have the Michigan Winter Beer Festival right around the corner, right?
Yeah, isn't that the
22nd.